Now, you've been focusing on posting more content, but you're finding it's just not working out for you. You're in a situation where you're thinking to yourself, well, I post 5 times a week, I post multiple times a week, but I'm not getting there. And you've just been told that the secret is to post more, but then you get into a situation where it's starting to feel like wasted effort. And the truth that no one really wants to admit is that posting more content on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok is not actually going to fix your pipeline problem. In fact, it's probably just making it worse. So I'm going to show you exactly why the post more strategy is failing you specifically and what's actually filling pipelines for successful B2B businesses this year and beyond, and the 3 shifts that you need to make starting today if you want to stop chasing algorithms and actually start attracting qualified buyers. Now, this is the same approach that's taken me to over 55,000 followers all organically on LinkedIn while attracting qualified buyers on a day-to-day basis with over 10 million impressions on the platform and sales calendars that look like this, full LinkedIn inboxes that look like this, and Stripe dashboards for our clients that look something like this. So if you want similar, then let's start by breaking down why you've been told to post more in the first place, because the logic sounds right. It's more content in theory equals more visibility, and more visibility equals more leads, and more leads equal more client. And you think to yourself, that's quite a simple formula on paper, and it does make sense. But the problem is that this formula only works if you're posting on the right platform and to the right audience with the right intent and the right type of content. So if you're a B2B service provider selling high ticket offers, coaching programs, consulting, agency retainers, then platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook are fundamentally the wrong place to be grinding out your content, and I'll explain why. Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, they're actually consumer platforms. So they were designed for entertainment, for social connection and distraction. People basically go there to scroll, to laugh, to zone out, escape their problems, not to solve expensive business challenges. So when someone is on Instagram, they're basically in a consumer mindset. They're looking at vacation pictures or dance videos or checking out what their friends had for lunch. They're not thinking about hiring a business coach or signing a 6-figure agency contract. And this is one of the core issues, because no matter how good your content is and no matter how many times you post, you're kind of always fighting an uphill battle against the platform's intent, because you're essentially trying to sell a Rolex at a flea market. Sure, someone might buy it, but you're going to waste a lot of time talking to people who are just browsing and have no real intention of making a serious purchase. So what happens when you try to build a B2B pipeline on these platforms? You end up in what I call the organic content treadmill, where you're posting 5 to 7 times a week and spending an hour or 2 every day engaging with other people's content, basically trying to beat the algorithm. And you're constantly chasing, new trending audio and formats and the latest hack that some guru promised would change everything. But after all that effort, what do you get? Nothing more than exhaustion and maybe a handful of low quality leads who ghost you after the first call, and zero predictability in your pipeline. So you've got no idea if next month is going to be feast or famine, and you're basically at the mercy of this algorithm that changes every few weeks and doesn't really care about your business goals. That's not a strategy, and that's just a hamster wheel. And the longer you stay in it, the more burned out and frustrated you'll become. So if Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook aren't the answer, then what is? And the answer is LinkedIn. And I know what you might be thinking, well, LinkedIn, isn't that just for job seekers or recruiters? Well, not anymore. LinkedIn's got well over 900 million users, and 65 million of them are decision makers, CEOs, founders, VPs, directors, people who actually have authority and the budget to hire you. But the real difference is that when someone is on LinkedIn, they're in a business mindset. They're actually there to learn, to network, to solve problems, and to find solutions to expensive challenges. They're not just scrolling to be entertained, they're scrolling to get better at their job, to grow their business, and to find the people and tools that can help them to do that. So this is the platform where B2B transactions actually happen, and this is where your ideal clients are actively looking for someone like you. Now, here's where the strategy shifts completely. On LinkedIn, you don't actually need to post 5 to 7 times a week, and you don't need to spend hours engaging with random people's content. You also don't need to dance, lip sync, or follow trends. Instead, you can just post 3 to 4 times a week, really strategic, high value content that positions you as the go-to expert in your niche. And your content isn't designed to go viral, it's designed to attract the right types of people, the decision makers who are already looking for a solution to the exact problem that you solve. And this is about quality over quantity. This is more about positioning versus volume. And this is about building a system that actually works for you instead of working for the algorithm. So let me break this down into 3 clear shifts that you need to make if you want to stop wasting time and to start filling your pipeline with qualified high ticket leads. The first shift is the platform shift. So move your primary content efforts from consumer platforms like Instagram and TikTok to LinkedIn, where your ideal clients are actively looking for solutions. The second shift is the content shift. So stop trying to entertain people and start educating and positioning yourself as the actual expert. Your content should really demonstrate your authority and not just focus on getting likes. The third shift is the system shift. So stop relying on hope and prayer and actually build a predictable funnel that turns your LinkedIn content into booked calls, qualified leads, and closed clients every single month. Now, these three shifts are the foundation of what we call the Influx Autopilot system, and they're the reason that our clients are able to generate predictable pipelines without burning out on content creation. And this isn't just theory here. This is how I built my own business and helped dozens of other B2B service providers to do the same. And so because of that, I'm very much aligned on how B2B buyers actually make decisions, along with knowing that this is the platform in which people are actually looking for solutions. And it's built based on a predictable, repeatable system and not just luck. So I'd love to give you a quick preview of what this could actually look like in practice, right? Because within the Influx Autopilot system, we really teach a 3-post framework system that consistently books high ticket calls. So one example is one post type is the authority post. So this is where you prove that you know your stuff. You basically share your frameworks, your strategies, your insights that demonstrate your expertise and make people think, wow, this person really gets it. Another post type that we often leverage is the agitation posters. This is where you call out the problem that your ideal client is facing. You agitate the pain and expose the blind spots and then make them realize that what they're currently doing isn't actually working. You've then got another post type that we call the invitation poster. This is where you make the offer. You invite them to take that next step, whether that's booking a call or watching a training or joining a program. And when you rotate through these 3 types of posts strategically, you'll build trust, you'll create more urgency, and you'll guide your audience toward actually becoming a client. Because the thing is, this isn't just about LinkedIn. This is actually about building a predictable system for your business. Really about working smarter versus working harder and positioning yourself where your buyers actually are. And when you make these types of shifts, you'll find that everything changes. So if you do want to learn a bit more about this, because I've just given you a small piece of what the complete Influx Autopilot system looks like, which is completely done for you, I've left a video in the link in the description box below where you can learn a bit more detail about how we guarantee to our clients at least a $50,000 pipeline within 90 days. If you do want that full breakdown, I'll leave a link in the description box below of this video. Do go and check that out. And outside of that, I hope you gained something from watching this particular video. If you did, please take a second to like it, comment, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one.